Max Eisenhart, Eric Linshear, Magnus, Magneto, master of magnetism. What's up, guys? It's your boy Maskable coming at you with another YouTube video. Today we are starting a new series called Wedgie Yap, where you guys listen while I talk, yap about whatever, hanging by my underwear, okay? This is already really painful. And for those, okay guys, I've been getting a lot of comments and just questions about, do I wear only white underwear? No, I don't. Look at that, we got red on today, okay? So stop roasting me. Anyways, today we're going to talk about Magneto from Marvel, okay? Guys, I've been playing Marvel Rivals. For those of you who have been in my TikTok live chat, you have been seeing that I've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. I haven't been able to stream it or make content because my computer is really crappy right now, but once I can, I will definitely be hitting you guys with some Marvel Rival content. But anyways, I've been playing, oh god, guys, this Wedgie's really bad. Okay, I've been playing Marvel Rivals with my friend, Soulless Chimera, okay? Go ahead and give him a subscription. He does post Marvel Rivals content, so if you want to see me playing, definitely head over to his page. But I've been playing with him, also known as BBL Jake, and it's come to my attention that some of y'all don't know who Magneto is. You don't know why he has the lines that he has and the relationships with the other heroes, so we gotta fix that, and today I'm ready to educate, okay? Oh gosh. Okay, so who is Magneto? Magneto was born as Max Eisenhart in 1920s Germany, okay guys? He is a German Jew, and he was born right before, you know, the World War, okay? So him and his family, his mom, dad, and sister, they all flee Germany when Max is a kid to Poland when the Nuremberg laws passed in 1935, okay? So they flee to Poland. Let they are captured by the Germans during the invasion of Poland in, I think it was, what was it, 19, oh, you know what, I don't even have the year. But whenever Germany invaded Poland, they got captured, okay? And then they got sent to the Warsaw Ghetto. I don't think I need to explain how bad, oh, Jesus Christ. I don't think I need to explain how bad the conditions were, obviously, in the Warsaw Ghetto. But obviously, that would be traumatizing for any kid. You know, so they actually end up escaping the Warsaw Ghetto, but they are all betrayed. So him and his family, you know, they make it out of the ghetto, and then they get betrayed and recaptured. This is the point where Magneto's mutant powers first manifest. So him and his family are taken to a mass grave by the Germans to, you know, be executed by gunfire. And, Lord, sorry guys. So yes, taken to the mass grave, right? And Magneto's mutant power is magnetism. And so it subconsciously manifests when the bullets are shot at him. And so he's actually able to deflect them and not die. However, his entire family dies right in front of him. Obviously, that can radicalize people, obviously. And so Magneto pretends to be dead while they're burying him and his deceased family members. And then he's able to crawl himself out of the soil and escape again with his life. However, unfortunately for Magneto, he gets captured again, a second time, and sent to the Auschwitz ghetto. But there, he actually reunites with an ex-childhood lover named Magda, which, spoiler alert, Magda will actually be the mother to Magneto's two most iconic children, Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, and Pietro, Quicksilver, Marvel speedster. But that hasn't happened yet. And so they bide their time, and then during the 1944 revolts, Magda and Magneto are able to escape. Oh, guys, my underwear is killing me. Oh, okay. Okay, so they're able to escape, okay? They escape to 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 Ukraine. They go to Ukraine, and there they live a nice, peaceful life. So here's the thing about the Marvel Universe. People, for some reason, hate mutants. So mutants in the Marvel Universe are kind of an allegory to oppressed groups in real life. So different like racial minorities and people with different sexualities, all those kind of things can very much relate to Marvel mutants because they're discriminated against for no reason. And so once the locals in that Ukrainian town see Magneto's mutant powers, they actually mob his home, the new home that he built with Magda, and the child that they had, Anya. And so the mob burns Magneto's house down with his daughter, his newborn daughter, still inside, and she unfortunately does not survive that. And the mob keeps Magneto from being able to get in there and save her. That experience, for sure, irrefutably changes Magneto's entire perspective on humanity. And so Magneto kind of goes crazy, which I think anyone would, especially with his level of power. And so he destroys like part of the town and basically massacres the entire mob. Magda, his wife, is so frightened by that she actually runs away. And Magneto spends quite a few years, I believe, after that looking for her, but she's completely gone. And while she's gone, she secretly gives birth to those kids I mentioned earlier, Wanda and Pietro. So Magneto doesn't even know that he's their father at that point. And so Magneto eventually leaves that town, fleeing from the authorities for his crimes of, murder and vandalism. And there he goes to Israel and meets Charles Xavier, also known as Professor X. And those two spark up a short friendship. However, they end up actually fighting a supervillain who's actually a Nazi. And in that fight, Magneto comes to the conclusion that him and Xavier just have way too many different opinions in terms of how mutant kind can proceed in the world. And so Magneto separates from Xavier and their friendship pretty much ends there. Okay? Okay, so I think the universe only wants me in tidy whities because my underwear did not survive the first part of the video, y'all, so I had to quickly change, and I'm back. Okay, so we left off at pretty much that was the synopsis of Magneto's origin. I'll do a quick recap because I'm unsure where I left off. So, his family gets executed right in front of him. He escapes, gets recaptured, taken to Auschwitz, meets his childhood lover, Magda. They try to live a normal life after they escape. However, humanity hates mutants and burns down his home and kills his child alive by fire. And obviously, guys, this video is not justifying Magneto because I think there's definitely an argument to say that Magneto goes too far in his methods. But I personally can understand where Magneto's anger comes from and why he is the way he is with his lived experiences. So basically, now that we've gone through his origin story, you can kind of start to understand his radical beliefs. And that is, Magneto is a character who believes that mutant kind is superior to humankind. So far to say that he doesn't even consider himself human. Even though mutants are technically like a subspecies of humanity, Magneto sees himself as what he likes to call Homo superior instead of Homo sapiens. And so he has a little bit of a complex there, obviously. And so his motivations are often to either try to take over humanity and rule it, and establish mutant kind as the dominant species of Earth, or his stories revolve around him trying to eradicate all of humankind from the planet. So you can see how crazy that is. And it really depends on who's writing his story, in which direction he's going to go, but that's usually where he goes. However, modern day Magneto, especially the version in Marvel Rivals and, some versions in the cartoons and in the movies, a lot of writers have been giving Magneto a redemption arc, and they've been giving him the opportunity to see his radical beliefs and instead of like going so far, we really start to see a more merciful Magneto that has restraint when it comes to crimes against mutant kind. His first instinct isn't to just eradicate humankind anymore. So that's Magneto's story. I want to quickly go over his powers. Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. There's a few snippets that I want to mention. I'm going to put it in key points, though, because this Wedgie is like getting really intense. So Comic Magneto has... he established his lair in an asteroid that's circling Earth's orbit called Asteroid M. And if you recognize that, that's actually the inspiration for the name of his ult in Marvel Rivals, Meteor M. And so that's kind of where that comes from. He establishes the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. That's just basically a group of mutants who are also disenfranchised and... they don't like humanity, and so they side with Magneto trying to push their agenda. Let's see, what else? I can't remember. In the comics, he goes through a cycle of like getting defeated, losing his memories, being de-aged, going into multiple comas. If you read his stories, you'll see it's like it's like they love putting him in a coma or making him lose his memories. And so yeah, I think that's all the key points that I wanted to hit. He also ends up convincing the United Nations to cede him the island nation of Genosha in Europe, and he then goes to civil war with the humans living there in order to establish a safe haven for mutant kind. And so that's one of mutant kind's first sovereign nations, and he's the leader of it. It's Genosha. You might have seen that. If you play Marvel Rivals, you might have heard a few lines about that. Okay, I think that's all the fun fact stories for Magneto. So, oh gosh, let's go over his powers. What are Magneto's powers? Okay, so Magneto is an Omega level mutant. That basically means his powers have no defined upper limit. And so what does that mean? What does it mean to have a power with no defined upper limit? In Magneto's case, his control over magnetism has no limit on its range nor its precision. So Magneto has been seen being able to summon magnetic material from across the cosmos, from like light years away while still on Earth. It usually requires, oh Lord, guys, this Wedgie is really bad. It usually requires intense concentration, but he's still able to do it. So obviously there's no range there. He can summon magnetic objects from across the universe. I think he's even been shown to summon Mjolnir, which is Thor's hammer, from all the way from Asgard to Earth, which is pretty impressive. And then in terms of precision, Magneto has been shown to be able to manipulate the electromagnetic forces that bond atoms and molecules together. And so not only can he control magnetic objects, but he can also influence electromagnetic bonds down to the subatomic level. And that leads me into my point about his powers. I want to specify, because I feel like a lot of people don't understand, that Magneto isn't just in control of magnetism, but he's in control of electromagnetic forces and magnetic fields. So some people incorrectly believe that Magneto can only influence objects that are naturally magnetic. But the thing is, Magneto's powers is manipulation of magnetic fields. And so he can actually influence non-ferrous material through the magnetic fields surrounding the object. And for those of you who aren't science nerds like me, non-ferrous basically just means non-metallic. So you have like your metallic metals like copper and iron, but then there's also other metals who aren't naturally metallic. I keep crossing, guys, this wedgie's really bad. I keep crossing metallic and magnetic, I'm sorry. But yeah, so Magneto can do that, and he can even influence the planet's magnetic field. That's what allows him to fly and control non-magnetic materials by just influencing the magnetic fields surrounding those materials. Also, a very common trope that you'll see in Magneto's appearances is his ability to resist telepathy. And so the origin of that telepathic resistance changes depending on the writer. So for some stories, it's Magneto's helmet that gives him that crazy resistance, which either it's because the helmet is made out of a material that blocks telepathy, or there's like some sort of anti-telepathic technology wired into the helmet. Oh my gosh. Where in other appearances, it's actually been hinted that Magneto might have a secondary mutation with telepathy, which allows him to resist it. So again, it really just depends on the writers and the story based off of where that telepathic resistance is coming from. Woo! Okay, guys. Oh my gosh, this yap session is painful. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. All right, guys. I think that is, let's see. Yeah, okay. Guys, I think that is the end of my yap session about Magneto. It wasn't super in-depth, but I just wanted to inform people who he is, what he's about, and I want to mention, so ever since, oh gosh, guys. Okay, hold on, give me a second. Okay, so ever since Wanda got retconned to not being a mutant anymore, she lost her X gene because of the writers, Magneto has been my favorite mutant character by far. His unyielding support and fight for mutant kind really inspires me. And just the existence of his character has sparked a lot of ethical and philosophical debate to those who witness his stories. And that is, it's like, do the oppressed have the right to fight against their oppressors? And if so, where's the line? When is it too far? And who gets to decide when it's too far? Because the thing about Magneto is he's a part of two oppressed groups, German Jews and the fact that he's a mutant. And the thing is, he has the power. He's an Omega level mutant, so he has the power to literally end the world anytime he wants. And so you often see a debate of like, oh, Magneto's going too far. Magneto shouldn't be doing this. But I always find it interesting that debate only seems to come up when the oppressed find a way to fight on their own behalf. And I think that's a good question for everyone to ask themselves, and that's why I really do like Magneto. Okay, guys, so we're going to end the video here. I really need to get down. My butt cheeks are on fire. This wedgie was insane. If you guys like this video, if you guys like the yap, I know that this was not super concise, not super put together. I am hanging by my underwear, doing this all live. So if you guys like these kind of videos, definitely let me know in the comments. Drop a like, drop a subscription. That will let me know that you guys like me rambling while hanging by my underwear. This was a fun video. The research took a while. So yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. Maskable out.